Hi everyone, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're with me today, or hang on for everyone to just click on. But I will be making a chocolate cheesecake with you, which is perfect for Valentine's Day. I'm Michelle Wilding, I run Boozy Bakers, and I just thought this would be a really good treat because, well, who doesn't like a chocolate cheesecake? It's actually pretty simple, so you're all going to be able to manage this. Um, and there's no baking actually. You just get to chuck it in the fridge once we're done, and it looks like you've been slaving over it for hours. So we'll wait for everyone to join in, but do feel free to pop in the comments any questions or just shout outs. I love talking to you guys, so do fill that comments up with messages. Tell me what you've been doing today. Have you been doing anything romantic? Or has it been a pretty regular day? Are you going out later? I'm not. This is as Valentine as I get with my heart today. But it's actually been quite busy. And it's nice to sit down with you guys and make something yummy. The other thing is about this chocolate cheesecake, just so that you're all nicely prepared. I know you've got a drop-down list of all the ingredients, but what I quite like is you can make this your own. So whether you're making it for yourself or for someone else, you've got the base, but you can decorate it as you like. You can add chocolate spread, you can add Nutella if you like that hazelnutty hint to it. And you can top it with what you want, whether you want to throw lots of strawberries and raspberries at it, or whether you want to put maybe some flake chocolate on it, or just maybe a pattern of chocolate chips, whatever you like. Lisa said, I went for lunch with my daughter. Oh, that sounds lovely. And Tiff, hello from rainy Manchester. Everything is ready to go here. Brilliant. Hi, Tiff. Oh, and Jane, I bought myself a few things from charity shops and a big bar of chocolate and a bottle of Prosecco. I like your style. I quite fancy that, actually. I haven't actually written out my husband's Valentine's card yet, so that's my job to do. But then he gets to eat chocolate cheesecake later, so he'll be happy. One thing that I didn't add to your list, which isn't a problem, it's just an optional extra, is I've said for your chocolate cheesecake, an 8-inch tin would be good. You don't have to use a tin. You can use a dish of some sorts, or if you want to make them like individual, silicone cupcake cases work really well because you can chill them and then just like peel down the sides to get them out. But if you're using a tin, you can use a bit of parchment paper or baking paper in the base just to help you slide it out. To be honest, we're using a buttery base, so it's not going to be sticking anytime soon. I've got a little silver board just because I have these to hand, so I'm going to use that today, but anything like that or a piece of parchment that can just stick in the bottom can just ease it out. But as I said, to be honest, if you've got a fish slice and just ease it onto a plate, that's going to work too. Or cut it directly from your dish. If you have like a pie dish that you're using, just cut it straight from that, don't you? Right then, everyone, do keep chatting away to me. But shall we get started? So I'm going to give you lots of hints and tips as we go along of, if you don't have this, use this. But if something doesn't make sense or you need more support, shout. James put, I'll carry on watching later. I'm going to sort out the front bedroom craft room storage. Sounds like you're busy there, Jane. Right, so 300 grams of biscuit for our base. Now, you can use what you like. I've got some milk chocolate digestives. I think this is a 300 gram pack. It is. So what you want to do is you want to bash them up. Now, I've got a food processor, but you could just use a rolling pin and just mush them up. You don't need to have them into tiny little like sand particles, but you do need it crushed up enough that it forms a solid base. So if you want to use double chocolate cookies, you can. If you've got plain digestives or malted biscuits or hobnobs, All of that will work. You could even go for something with a bit of a cream centre, like a bourbon. That will work. There we go. So I'm just going to put my whole pack of biscuits into my food processor. And I'm going to place this on top. There we go. Now I'm going to be really noisy. But if you're using a rolling pin, that's fine too. I'm just want to be able to talk to you. So bear with me, I'm going to make some noise for a minute. Mary said, I'll check in later, there's an echo on the sound. If that's a problem, please do let me know. It's not something I'm aware of, but I can pull this a bit closer maybe. Right. Give it a bit of a shake. There. Let's see. I've got some bits that are a little bit too big. That's quite a size. That's not going to cut so easily. But on the whole, they're done. And it is quicker than bashing them. But I normally, if I'm doing it with the kids, we bash. There we go. Put that to one side. No issue with sound. Brilliant. Thank you, Tracy. It's always good to know. So I'll tip this into a bowl so you can see what I'm doing. But that's my biscuits. But if you want to make this extra chocolatey, obviously the more chocolatey your biscuits, the darker your base. You can make this really quite a strong chocolate or lighter, depending on how you like it. And isn't that a nice thing to do with Valentine's? If you're making this for someone else as a treat, you can make it suit them. So that is my 300 grams of biscuit crumbs. And I'm going to add to that 150 grams of melted butter. If you need to melt it, chuck it in the microwave. It's not a problem. But that's my melted butter. Now, I have used butter rather than margarine. The reason I would prefer butter over margarine is because when we put it in the fridge, butter will set more than a margarine will. And you want a nice set base. Margarine will still work, but I would always say when you want something to go firm again, then use the butter. There we go. It's the same with if you make cookies, like a cookie dough. I would always suggest butter, just so you get a more set, chilled biscuit dough before you put them in the oven. Right. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a mix up and just coat the biscuit crumbs with the melted butter. I'm not expecting it to come together like a dough, just coat, because when we pack this down, when we press it down in the tin and then we chill it, it'll all come together. So just give that a nice stir. Shout if I'm going too fast for you as well, please. But a lot of you I know might be coming back to this later, and that's no problem at all. You will want to give this a few hours to chill in the fridge. I mean, it will taste nice if you ate it straight away, but if you want to get nice slices out of it, you need to give it some time. So if you're making it for tonight, don't wait too long to make it, depending on what time you're eating. Because you will want it to chill for a bit. Right, that is as simple as the base is. If you want to make it more fancy, you can. You could add chopped nuts to it. As I said, you could, use different types of biscuits. But ultimately, you could add chocolate chips to this if you wanted to. But I just like a nice size base to a cheesecake. So just to reiterate, this is a no-bake cheesecake today. Nice and simple, and also a really good one to do for the summer months. When it's really hot and it's the last thing you want to do is switch the oven on, this is a good dessert to do. And we can jazz it up. We're doing chocolate today, but you could do a nice summer fruit one another time of year. So really versatile recipe. Now, I'm using the back of my spoon And I'm just going to press the biscuit base into the tin with the spoon and try and get a nice even finish. So just applying a little bit of pressure, and I'm moving it around just so that I can get a nice even base. So just checking the chat, see if you're all okay. We've been delivering cream teas all morning for Valentine's. So I think we're about there now. Has anyone had some flowers arrive for them? I haven't. Not yet, anyway. Still time, isn't there? There we go. Right, I will show you what this looks like. So it's been packed down quite firmly there, just so it forms an even base. Now, you can put it in the fridge now whilst we work on the filling, or you can wait till later. It doesn't really matter because we're going to chill it all down and it's packed pretty firm. But if you want to, you can. Right, how are you all doing? Give me a thumbs up. If you're busy baking with me, just let me know how you're doing. Just don't want to lose you whilst making this. It's my excitement at the idea of eating it, I think. I'll let you know what I'm using today. I'm using Nutella. I've got the biggest thing of Nutella. In fact, actually, I do think they do bigger than this. But for me, this is quite big. I'm using that for my filling, but you can get chocolate spreads. So whatever you like, really. And I'm using Philadelphia. Now, I have used various cream cheeses. They all work, but Philadelphia, I do think might be a little better than some of other brands out there in terms of setting, but they all do work, I'm sure. Missed the ingredients. Oh, bear with me. I've got a little bubble over what Roger's said, so I can't see what he's saying. I could do with, can someone put like another message on just so it can bump up? I've got missed the ingredients for something wood. So I'm not sure what he said. I don't know how to get rid of the chat bubble. So I will help you, Roger, when I can see it, but I could just do with another message being added, just a comment being added, just so I can bump up yours there and see what you've said. So I'll refresh what we've got so far. Missing ingredients for the base, Sarah Wood. Oh, thank you. Right, so for the base, it's 300 grams of biscuits. You can get inventive with that. I've used some chocolate digestives, but you can use cookies, double chocolate chip cookies, bourbons, malted biscuits, just something, 300 grams. And then you're going to add 150 grams of melted butter. So that's it. It's just crushed up biscuits and melted butter. And then we've just mixed that together and put it into the base of the tin there. That's it. 300 grams of crushed up biscuits and 150 grams of melted butter. And that forms a really nice base. So I hope that helps. You're very welcome. Right, now for the filling, we're going to go with cream first and we're going to whip it up. Now, again, you can do this by hand or you can use an electric mixer. It's just you might like to get some exercise on those arms, but just for the sake of getting it done quicker, I'm going to use a hand mixer, but either will work. So excuse the noise again. I'm going to put this on a high speed as well. I didn't tell you how much either, did I? Rubbish with this. So I used the whole thing of cream. This cream is actually, I think it's a 300 ml. If you buy something like an Elm Lee, they're 284 ml. So somewhere between that is fine. Just use your pot of cream, a whole pot of cream. And I've just used double cream on this. I'm just whipping it up on a high speed. I do find, and I don't know if anyone else attested this, but sometimes when you whip up cream, it does it straight away, and other times it takes forever. This is going to take a bit longer, but let me know how you're doing. Now mine's starting to go. I can see a bit more of a ribbon. I can see it thickening, but I want it that's quite stiff. And Tiff's using extra thick double cream, and it hardly needs whisking at all. That sounds amazing. Hang on. There we go. So I've got my cream all whisked up there, and that's nice and stiff, which is good because I'm going to add everything else and not whisk it in. We can just stir it in. So you want something that's just quite thick to begin with. So extra brownie points for the extra thick double cream, because that sounds brilliant. So once you have your cream, then we get to start adding everything else. So you want your cream cheese. I think, again, I've bought a 340 gram of Philadelphia. So I've actually already, look, I've already nicked a little bit of that to do some frosting earlier. So it's probably about the right amount. So add your cream cheese to your mix. That was nice and easy, wasn't it? And then you want to add your Nutella. Now, I'm a bit naughty. I haven't actually weighed this. The good thing is about this cheesecake is you don't have to be absolutely definite, but you want about 100 grams. So I'm just going to do a few heaped teaspoons. I think it's a teaspoon. It might be a dessert spoon I'm using. But 100 grams of your chocolate spread. Bear with me. I'll do another one. That looks... well, 100 grams to me. I'll do one more little one. Love the smell of Nutella. It's very good. Right. There we go. So I've got that in. And then, so that's 300 of cream cheese, 100 of your chocolate spread or, similar. And then I've got 3 tablespoons of icing sugar. Now, if you want it to be a lot more chocolatey in colour and taste, you could add some cocoa powder with this, and that will bring out a richer colour. Personally, I quite like it being quite light, and then you can decorate the top. So you've got the contrasts. So that's my icing sugar going in. And then I'm just going to make myself go a bit higher so that my arm doesn't have to do as much work. There we go. And we're just going to fold it together. Now, I have said about some additional chocolate spread, and that's just to decorate the top. I've actually put a bit of it into the oven briefly and put it in just in a warm oven. It's not on. Just to melt, keep it a little bit softer, just for drizzling over the top. But that is separate. We'll do that once it's all put together. So just what I'm doing is I'm just combining the mixture so that it's all a nice pale chocolatey colour. As I said, if you want it to be a dark colour, add a little bit of cocoa if you like. But you don't need to. The chocolate flavour will come out, and then whatever you decorate it with can bring out that chocolate flavour too. So on that note, what are you all going to decorate with? What's everyone's choice of toppings. You have to let me know. I've got some Ferrero Rocher that's left, and I've got a little bar of dairy milk that I'm going to grate over the top. But let me know what you're using. Consistency-wise, guys, you can see it's on my spoon and it's not really falling off. If I wobble it enough, it will, but it's quite thick. And once you've got it all combined, then we can add it to the top of our base. I have a couple of tips for that too. Just so we don't pull the base away from our mixture, what I tend to do is add it in blobs. I don't know if you can see this. Lift it up a bit, like so. There we go. And then it just stops it. We can smooth the top, but it just stops us from dragging the mixture along the base. Smells amazing. The great thing about this is we can lick the bowls out later too. So there we go. Getting there. How are you all doing? So that's my mixture. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that around a little bit and just make sure that everywhere's covered. Then I'll show you a way of making it look a little bit prettier if it's your type of way of doing it. A bit of a rustic finish to it, but a nice little pattern to put in the top. Bear with me. Just make sure it's all touching the sides. And it's nice and even and level. We don't have to worry, particularly it is just presentation now. It's nothing about, because obviously we're not baking it or anything. So if I show you, that is as smooth as I'm going to get it. I'm not going to try that hard, if I'm honest. What I'm going to do, if you have, like I've got a spinny table for my cake decorating, but that's not an average thing to have in your cupboards. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a teaspoon, and using the back of it, you can go around and go in ever decreasing circles. I'm hoping this is coming across online because I'm doing it at such an odd angle. There we go. And you just get a nice rustic but pretty decoration with some uniformity into it. There we go. Can you see that? Can you see it's got like a little swirl to it now? Bring it up. There we go. And then you can leave that to set. Once it's set, I would then decorate it then. You could take, depending whether you're taking it out, if you want to display it on a plate and then decorate it, if you've got chocolate that's like, you know, your spread a bit melted down, and then it will drizzle over the sides. But because I'm not going to be here for another 3 hours, I thought I would do a little bit of it now. So bear with me. There we go. But don't feel you have to decorate at the moment. You can leave it. But if time's of the essence, I'll just bring this down so you can see. I've got some Nutella that has just been warmed up a little bit, just so it's runny enough. And then I'm just going to drizzle it on. I like a cheesecake to look like you want to stick a fork into it. I'm not looking for absolute, just so. I like it looking not messy, just pretty gorgeous with its chocolate. So I'm just going to go from a different angle now and just drizzle it on. And I don't mind if it gets the tin. I can easily wash that up and get it off. I just want to make sure that I've got it all over the cheesecake. I will try and lift this to show you what it's looking like, because I'm sure it's coming across. There we go. So when it's got its messy sides off it, you've got a nice lot of chocolate on top, bit of a lattice effect. And then do this now and just let it all chill together. I'm going to get some Ferrero Rocher. Oh, I've got some more messages. I have defrosted some. I've got a thing about this chat again. I don't know why. I don't know how to get it off on the side. It's very annoying. I need a chat bubble to go away. Ah, no, it didn't go away. Let's minimize it again. I've got some defrosted some, I'm guessing it's chocolate. And then I said the freezer to decorate. When someone else comments, I will see your message, Tiff. I've got a new bubble, which I can't seem to get rid of. Right. So I'm just halving these Ferrero Rocher, and I'm going to place them. If you're ever doing anything that you want equal, then go side to side. So with my Ferrero Rocher, I've gone one over one side, one over the other, and then I'll go do like quarters, and then fill in the gaps. Thank you very much, Claire, for bumping it up for me. I've defrosted some cherries from the freezer to decorate with. Oh, that sounds delicious. That sounds like a really nice idea. I like cherries. I like Black Forest as well. Chocolate and cherries just goes, doesn't it? So you'll have to send your photos in to Virtual Village Hall and share your creations, because what I like about this workshop is the versatility we can get with what we've made. So some people might have fruit on top, like the cherries. Others might cover in loads of chocolate. Or, I mean, you could go for hazelnut. You can leave blank, you can just leave as it is. But I just love the fact we can make it what we want. So do share your creations. It'll be lovely to see. I'm just going to add a couple more to this. I keep catching my fingers on the side of the tin and getting Nutella on me. Bear with me. Just do another chop. So I've only used 3 Ferrero Rochers, and I just want to go around the outside. I don't want to fill in the middle, but you can do what you like because it's yours. And then let's just move that away. Give my hands a little wipe up. And then I'm just going to get my itty bitty bar of dairy milk that I happen to have lying around. And I've got a little grater, a little hand grater, and then I'm just going to grate some chocolate all on the middle. Oops. I think one of the bits must be for me then. Yeah, just grate it in the middle and just decorate it as you like. But I think my husband will enjoy eating. Well, to be honest, let's be honest, I'm going to enjoy eating this more. But I can say it's for Valentine's Day, can't I? But I get to enjoy it too. So it's a brilliant one for Valentine's Day because he can't eat the whole thing. He'll have to share it with me. Actually, he probably would attempt to eat the whole thing, but that won't be allowed. And the children will probably get in there too before we do. Right, there we go. So that is the chocolate cheesecake. And when it is out of the tin, that's going to look a little bit prettier. At the moment, you can see all the Nutella up the side. And obviously, we're not going to have that because we'll release it. But that needs to chill for about 3 to 4 hours. And then I can take it out and pop it on a plate for everyone to enjoy. So that's it in terms of making it. But if you have any questions or you're making anything else today and you want any questions answered, this is your opportunity to ask away. I don't mind. Are you making anything else, or do you need any hints on your cheesecake? Do let me know. Tiff says, thank you very much. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. I hope you've enjoyed it. And you'll have to let me know what you think to the cheesecake too. I might just get you all addicted to these easy cheesecakes now, and you can show off your versatility with whatever else you put in it. But I'll give you a moment and see what anyone else is doing. But just remember to chill them, unless you like a soft cheesecake. If you want to slice it, you're going to have to chill it. You could, if you want a shorter amount of time, if you think, oh, actually, I can't make it until later, you could try putting it in the freezer for a bit. Obviously not so long, and chill it quicker in the freezer. And then in terms of how long it will last, in our house, not very long at all, because it will all get eaten. But if you keep it covered, you should be all right to have it for a few days. Hoping to make it with something shapes on top for my grandma. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why. It's a new bubble saying chat. Thank you. Mini dinosaur shapes on for my top for my grandson. Oh, he would love that. Thank you. I'll make it a little later. Thank you. Trying to think how I can adapt it to be low fat. So I suppose you could use a low fat cream cheese. You could make a thinner base if you wanted to. So you could try those little bits. You could just make it thinner and then put some fruit on top of something. Tracy says, thank you, Michelle. I always love your cookery lessons. You're very welcome. And Claire says, thank you. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Have fun making your cheesecakes. Share your photos with Virtual Village Hall. And I will see you again for another cookery workshop. Enjoy the rest of Valentine's days, guys. Bye.